Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. We do have a lot to get to, and normally I start right off the bat on Fridays at 8:30 talking about our top stories. I'm going to cut here. There we go. Our top stories with the First Alert Safety Desk, but a big story that we've been following all week long, as you know, is the 3-year-old who's been missing out of Two Rivers. And I just wanted to give everybody an update on what we know so far. It's nothing you haven't heard as of last night, but in case you missed it, I'm actually going to put up their photos. We'll get back to that in a minute. There we go. So I'll just talk over these mug shots. 3-year-old Elijah Vu of Two Rivers is still missing. As you know, he's the center of an Amber Alert issued on Tuesday afternoon, so we were expecting to get a little bit more information about this ongoing investigation yesterday afternoon when the boy's mother was supposed to appear in court, but that has been delayed, as you might already know. So we are told that will happen this afternoon. Of course, we will keep you posted, but that is what we are waiting for. You could see right here the headline, referred child neglect charges, is the charges they are going in for. They haven't been officially charged just yet because they have not been in court. But the documents have been sealed, so very little information is being released. But we were able to confirm that through the Manitowoc County Clerk's office. We learned Elijah's mother, who you're seeing right here, Katrina Bauer, has been in police custody since about 4 a.m. on Wednesday morning. We know that, again, that she's facing a possible charge of party to a crime of child neglect. Bauer was supposed to appear again with this man who is also facing a possible charge of child neglect. His name is Jesse Vang, and officials say he's connected by court documents to the area where Elijah Vu went missing. He's been in police custody since this Amber Alert was issued Tuesday, so no one has been officially charged. Again, because this is ongoing, we are waiting to see what happens in court today. Both Vang and Bauer, they're expected to be there at 12:45 this afternoon, so of course we'll bring you updates digitally on air as well. But right now, police have not named any suspects. The big part of all of this, though, is that the search continues for 3-year-old Elijah. I'm going to bring up his photo here. And there he is again. Earlier this week at the First Alert Safety Desk, I talked about the criteria when we cover Amber Alerts, and a lot of this has to do with their age, if they're in any danger. But it's not to be used for runaways or family abductions unless the child's life is in danger. So we do have more on that at WBAY.com. I know a lot of you have been obviously very concerned, wanting to know the latest. We are, again, just waiting to see what happens, first of all, in court, and not to mention the people that have continued to search for Elijah. And on our website, we have another story with the community and how they're helping out. Also, the FBI, I mentioned part of this investigation at a Calumet County landfill. You might already know about this too, but just kind of recapping what we do know, because there's a lot that we don't know yet. But the FBI, part of this investigation at the Hickory Meadows landfill, the FBI, we had aerial footage of that. Let me see if I can pop it up. I'm not sure. But it is at WBAY.com, and we've been playing that as well in our newscasts. Our partner station, WISN, had a very clear picture of what was kind of unfolding at that landfill yesterday. There was a blue tent that was set up there. That was another story. Our Samantha Cavalli covered that yesterday. The other story is that St. Peter, the Fisherman Catholic Parish in Two Rivers, is canceling most of their weekend activities after the police department asked to use some of their facilities over the weekend. So again, Two Rivers police continuing their search for 3-year-old Elijah Vu. It's just heartbreaking. Again, his picture is everywhere. I'm going to go to our website just to pop his picture up one more time. And there's the story that we were following. We have several stories online at WBAY.com talking about not only the community effort, the FBI, law enforcement in general, everything that's being done to unravel what's happened here. I'm just going to scan through. So there's his photo once again. 3 feet tall, 45 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Share that photo. If you can search, we had our Emily Roberts saying that law enforcement is hoping that you can search your area, anywhere that a child might have gone. I know there's a lot of concerned people, especially on social media, talking about this, but it is first and foremost just heartbreaking. So just getting through, a lot of you sharing prayers, looking for closure for this family, a lot of unanswered questions, but yes, it is heartbreaking for sure. And Kathy, why are they not using dogs to track the little one? I'm not sure. What we do know too is that they're not telling us a lot. The FBI is involved in this. There's a lot that they can't tell us because of the process. It's so important to make sure that they do this investigation the right way. So just wanted to recap everybody what's going on there. I know there's a lot of questions, but we'll move on to some of the other stories that I was covering this week at the First Alert Safety Desk. Not only that Amber Alert criteria, we also talked about this overdose deaths study. Moving on to what we typically cover on Friday mornings from the First Alert Safety Desk recap here digitally. And every day this week, we've had some pretty big stories. This one was kind of startling. Close to half of all adults in the U.S. know at least one person who died from a drug overdose. It's a study, it's a nonprofit that did this, RAND, their research organization. They also talked about how 1/3 of those people say their lives were disrupted by the death. So it could have been that it was someone close to them, a friend, a family member. So many people impacted by this. So experts, of course, talking about fentanyl because that's been making headlines a lot and impacting people. It's getting into different drugs like cocaine, for example. But this study was talking about those people who lose a loved one. What is next for them? What kind of resources and research can be done to make sure they're supported when they lose someone? So if you want to read that, that's at WBAY.com. Another one that I talked about this week was this one right here, common tax mistakes to avoid, because we also talk about financial security at the First Alert Safety Desk, and that story is online too. But just to kind of recap a little bit, if you haven't filed yet, it might be a good time, because if you make a mistake, there could be still time to correct it. In fact, the IRS could even have time. If you do make a mistake, they might have time to let you know about it so you can fix it. But make sure you're avoiding typos. The IRS says common errors include misspelling a name or entering the wrong social security number. Another one is choosing the wrong filing status and not listing your dependents correctly. So those are really important things that can prevent you from receiving tax credits or even a bigger refund or owing less. So head over to WBAY.com to read a little bit more if you're interested in reading that. Another story that I did that I thought was a bigger story that I covered at the First Alert Safety Desk was this one right here. We talk a lot about this story, sudden unexpected infant death stories that we've covered throughout the years. So this is for parents to be. This research was talking about how most babies who died unexpectedly had multiple unsafe sleep practices. So this was published in the journal Pediatrics. It found about 60% of sudden infant death cases involved sharing a sleep surface, so somewhere maybe where they were sleeping with another human, an adult, a child, or even a pet. In most involved instances where that baby slept in several unsafe ways. It wasn't just when they were being laid to sleep at night. So child safety experts in the study talking about how important this conversation is. They studied data from 23 different states, including Wisconsin, and they found 3 in 5 babies were sharing a bed, a couch, or a chair when they died. In fact, they were under parent supervision even. So it's very startling. Make sure that you talk to your pediatrician about ways to make sure your baby is safe while they're sleeping. Make sure they're on their back. We talk a lot about maybe for sudden infant death, preventing that. One tip is to use a fan in the baby's nursery is one thing we talk a lot about too. So authors of the study say it's also important for healthcare providers to talk to you, new parents, about sudden unexpected infant death and again, ways to keep your baby safe while they're sleeping. So those are some of the big stories that I covered this week from the First Alert Safety Desk that were pretty impactful. But again, you can go to our website and see more. But again, we can not show this photo enough. We keep saying that this week because we want you to take a look. We want you to keep Elijah Vu in your thoughts, not only just this week into the weekend, we will continue covering this story. We do have newscasts in the mornings, Action 2 News this morning, weekend edition. So we have both Saturday and Sunday. Make sure you tune in for that. And throughout the evening shows as well into the weekend. A lot of people waiting to see what happens this afternoon. So we'll keep you all posted on what happens today in court. And if something changes, make sure you get those push alerts via our news app or maybe paying attention to Facebook to see the latest, because we do wait for officials to let us know what's going on. I know there's a lot of conversation on social media, but it gets sort of, overwhelming with what's coming in. Make sure you follow us for what officials are telling us, what we're getting from law enforcement themselves. But it is truly tragic. This is what now going into day 4 officially, with people still looking for Elijah Vu and a lot of people wondering what happened to him. So take a look at his photo, share his photo, keep family and friends of Elijah Vu in your thoughts, and keep him in your thoughts. And we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. Again, that court appearance so far is still going on. 12:45 is what we're expected to, when we're expected to hear a little bit more from court. So again, we'll keep you guys posted. For now, I will let you guys go. If anything does change, make sure you stay tuned in. We have another newscast at 9 a.m. Emily Roberts will be talking more about Elijah then.